1920s Rockwood mansion or a modern new build on a private hilltop. Today I'm breaking down old money versus new money in Spokane and what actually defines the luxury market here right now. Hey there, I'm Haydn, Halsted, your Spokane real estate resource. Whether you're looking to move into, out of, or across Spokane, my team would love to help you with your real estate situation. If you enjoy Spokane-specific breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and click the links in the description to book a quick call or grab our Spokane relocation guide. Let's set the stage. When people look at luxury in Spokane, it's easy to assume price equals prestige. It doesn't. At the top end, our market splits into two lineages with different rules, different rhythms, and very different daily experiences. On one side, you have pre-1940 neighborhoods where the plan came first and the houses followed. And on the other, you have gated, view-forward communities that were designed for privacy, consistency, and modern living within a short drive of town. Same budget range, but very different lifestyles. So we'll start with old money because that's the root of Spokane's prestige. Think Rockwood and Cliff Cannon. These neighborhoods were laid out with intention in the early 1900s, curved boulevards following the terrain, basalt walls hold the edges, and tree canopies frame the streets, and parks are woven into the plan. That design language is why Rockwood Boulevard and the edges of Manito still feel cohesive a century later, and the homes match that level of care. You'll see stained glass, heavy millwork, tile roofs, masonry, and in many cases, designs from Spokane's most notable architects of the era. The appeal is definitely obvious the minute you drive it. Proportion, materials, history, and a streetscape that tells a story. And so owning in these districts comes with responsibilities that keep the story intact. Exterior changes, additions, and sometimes even window replacements often go through historic review, and that process protects the look and long-term value of the neighborhood, but it also adds time and planning to renovations. If you love character, mature canopies, park adjacency, and homes built to outlast trends, this lane will make sense as soon as you step onto the block. Something I recently noticed as I was walking around Cannon Hill Park is that there are signs in people's front yards to vote to keep Cannon Hill a historic district because they're afraid people are going to start buying some of the homes in the area and tearing them down and putting up big modern buildings. So there are people here in Spokane trying to protect some of these areas long term so that we don't get a lot of crazy modern builds in neighborhoods they don't belong. Now let's shift to new money because a lot of today's luxury buyers are looking for a different kind of ease. In Spokane, new money usually means curated privacy with modern systems and steady standards rather than urban infill. Think gated entries, protected view corridors, consistent architecture, and trail or club access depending on some of these private communities that you could be in. So Legacy Ridge and Liberty Lake is a clear example. It sits on the ridge with broad views, very consistent high-end construction, and neighborhood paths that connect the pieces. The ridge at Hangman looks over the golf course and leans into Northwest contemporary architecture, larger lots, and a quiet, tucked-in feel. And on the South Hill, there's Quail Ridge and Manito Place offering controlled access into the Manito Golf Country Club. So your drive on a tee time is really just how fast your golf cart can go rather than your car. On the north side, River Bluff Estates and River Bluff Ranch deliver acreage, sunsets, and a sense of being away without being remote. Lot sizes help explain the experience. In many of these gated communities, lots will run 4/10 to 3/4 of an acre, which gives you space for proper yard and outdoor living without committing to full-scale acreage maintenance. On the edges of town, you will find 1 to 20 acre options for people who want the elbow room, but the common threads are space, quiet, newer systems, big garages, and HOA standards that keep everything looking sharp over time. If you want modern layouts, efficient mechanicals, and that feeling of pulling through the gate, shutting the world out, and watching the sunset from a deck, this side will fit you. So how did these two lanes actually compare when you boil them down? Old money is about scarcity and story. This is a limited supply of intact early century homes on planned boulevards and overlays preserving them that make them very special. You're paying for a streetscape and a legacy as much as the house. New money is about convenience and control. You trade some of the century-old charm for newer systems, larger garages, view lots, and a framework that keeps the neighborhood consistent without you having to manage every detail yourself. The rules can differ, historic review on one side, but HOA guidelines on the other, but the point is similar, keeping the neighborhood cohesive and to protect value. And so if you're watching from areas like Seattle, the Bay Area, or Southern California, it helps to calibrate some expectations here because in those markets, $1 million often buys something close to 1,500 square feet with minimal yard and street parking. And in Spokane, that same budget can reach 4,000 to 5,000 square feet with real outdoor space, substantial garage capacity, and a short drive to most of what you need. It isn't just about a lower price, it's about the amount of life you can get for the same amount of money. So choosing between these lanes comes down to how you want to live. Choose old money if original materials, tree-lined streets, and being part of Spokane's early story matters more to you than a frictionless renovation. Build time into your plans for approvals and line up trades who know historical work. And choose new money if you want modern layouts, lower day-to-day maintenance, and controlled access with views, clubs, and trail life at your doorstep. Expect standards and dues, and in return, get predictability in a neighborhood that holds together over time. So here's a simple way to see both in a single afternoon. Start at the Rockwood Boulevard area, loop around Manito Park, and run Cliff Drive to feel how the streets and homes talk to each other. Then head out east to Legacy Ridge for a ridgeline overlook and a sense of the consistency lot to lot. And if you're up for the drive, stop by the Ridge at Hangman and walk the neighborhood or drive through to understand the kind of quiet people are buying there. Not that I think this is possible, but driving through Quail Ridge and Manito Place, you're probably gonna have to have a code, but just driving down Hatch Road and stopping by the Rocket Market is gonna give you a feel of what the Manito Country Club has to offer. And you can do one of my favorite drives, taking North Indian Trail till it becomes Rural Route 5 and follow that road in the back areas past St. George's and the Little Spokane River, and off of there's a road here that'll lead you to River Bluff Estates, which is a very fun area to drive through and see some of the beautiful houses. So if you decide to move forward, there are a few practical steps that make buying in either lane smoother. For historical districts, pull the overlay guidelines before you draw a plan, pre-inspect things like chimneys and foundations, and budget for large purchases like windows, roofing, and masonry work to get done right. And for those gated communities, ask for the CC&Rs, architectural standards, and reserve information up front so you know what you can do, what needs to be maintained, and especially what you can't do. And if you're looking on the financing side of things, I have some great lenders that are very experienced in the jumbo loan products that would love to help you out. And another thing to mention is checking your insurance policy. You want to base them on replacement costs, not purchase price, because especially some of these historic homes are nearly impossible to build again as they are. And so you really want to make sure that you're getting the right type of insurance for a property like this. So if you're choosing between the romance of Rockwood or those modern, beautiful homes that we can find throughout the city of Spokane, we would love to help you make that decision and decide what's best for you. And again, if you're interested in working with the Halsted Home Team to help you relocate in, out, or across Spokane, we would love to do that. Just reach out with the information down below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.